Hello and welcome to this Audible Anomaly News number 9. No way. Ooh, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, as always, I'm Broseph.
I'm Kevin.
And I think, well, it's your turn to start, so.
All right. Nothing that we missed or had wrong last week that we know of, but let us know if there was something. So we get right into the news. Starting off with the indie game news, we've got Galactic Princess Kickstarter campaign. Looks really nice. It's a little bit strange in that it's a spaceship sim where you don't really have much of a HUD. You actually have to look at the ship instruments to find out how things are going. So that's exciting. Probably wouldn't be joining that myself because it's like $17.
Okay. Looks interesting, though. Kind of like that.
I do too. Although it's also pixel-based graphics, which kind of bugs me, but yeah, whatever.
Gotcha.
Other Kickstarter campaigns, we've got Heart and Slash, which is on its own not so strange. It's a voxel-based robot slasher love story, as you probably guessed from the
Heart
name.
and slash, right? Okay.
But what makes it interesting is that the $10,000 reward is the game's code in C# given to you 6 months after release without assets. So you can't make it cloned, or you can't make a clone of it. And they specifically say, no clones allowed.
Okay.
It's a learning tool for their game for $10,000. And last but not least for the indie game news, we've got Drunken Robot Pornography, fun game, releasing in full on February 19th on Steam.
I did not know that was not already out fully.
No, it was early access.
Okay. I tried playing it the other day. Did not go
noticed.
well. I was looking down the entire time.
You gotta look up.
I had no control over it. So,
Interesting.
might have been just my copy, but yeah.
I guess.
digress.
Anyways, we've also got a new trailer for the next Professor Layton game, Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, Emmy's Story. So check that out. It's interesting, especially if you're a fan of the series. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely have no complaints over the series. They are pretty interesting. Moving on, we got Kirby Triple Deluxe coming out on May 2nd. I'm not sure if that was already known. But there is a new trailer out for it, which is pretty interesting. Show a lot of cool stuff, neat tricks. Almost not really spoilers, but like, yeah, it shows off quite a bit of a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, you should check that out. Coming out for 3DS and 2DS. So yeah, good stuff.
Nice. All right, we've also got an update that's just massive from Terraria. I guess they put on 2 new developers, and they've just been going at it, making tons of things, fixing everything. Good stuff.
Nice.
And there was an announcement that Deep Down, the Capcom RPG dungeon crawler, will not have any playable female characters for reasons that are to be explained in the story.
Interesting.
Indeed. I think it's a solid reason if you're not going to include a playable female character. Our story wouldn't allow it. Sorry.
I have no comment. But moving on, Titanfall. You guys may have heard there's been, I don't want to necessarily call it a mess, but it definitely might appear like one from the outside. So they officially announced, originally it was going to be beta sign up on, I think it was starting Wednesday-ish. I don't actually remember.
14th? Friday?
No, that's when keys went out.
Oh, keys went out. Yeah.
But anyway, signed up. I signed up within the first 2 minutes, which was kind of fun. Just to later find out that it didn't really matter because they're going to go open beta to stress test servers. And also, it's mostly stress testing servers. They said maybe for hype as well, but But yes, Xbox One, I believe, is already out. A PC was supposed to be out today, but then again, it was a maybe tomorrow from Vince Sampella, the CEO of Respawn. He said that yesterday, so he said maybe. Another thing he said, that the beta will be extended at least one day. The original end date was supposed to be on Tuesday, February 18th. He said it's going to be at least postponed a day because of downtime on Friday. But again, he said at least one day, and considering PC copy hasn't come out yet, I think he might extend it for at least another. My best guess is probably Friday, to be fair. Which, I don't know, nice way to end off the weekend, or the week. But that's just me. So yeah, like I said, they're also expecting the servers that they're gonna handle the peak performance absolutely fine. I don't think they had full strength on servers at launch, which is why they were having the issues. But like I said, they're trying to sort everything out now. Like I said, it's really just to stress test it. So if you're on Xbox One, I believe it's already out, so you can go check that out. On a PC, I had to reinstall Origin because I realized it wasn't actually up to date. So we're waiting on that, and as soon as I see that, I will be jumping on that. Much like I jumped on House of Cards, but that's beside the point.
You're a little slow on that one, but
I was slow because I didn't want to rush it, but that's beside the point. So yeah.
Sure.
Well, to be fair, when I said the episode I was on, it was actually my second run through, by the way. I've already finished it. I finished the first run through a while ago.
I was talking about how you told me day it came out you had not watched it yet.
There was stuff that happened, and
So you may be a little bit late to the party, but you'll play it thoroughly.
Exactly, sure. Just like the beta.
That's what I was talking about that time.
Yes. Okay.
Anyways, there's an announcement for an Assassin's Creed board game, cleverly titled Assassin's Creed Arena. Ooh. It's going to release on February 26th. It's didn't actually look all that exciting. Would not buy.
Woo!
And Kickstarter got hacked. They're suggesting password changes for everyone. Only 2 user accounts had some sort of activity that was unexpected or unlawful or something. But user information was stolen across the board. So change your passwords.
I just made my Kickstarter account. I actually don't think I have a Kickstarter account, to be fair. I started browsing Kickstarter actively recently, but yeah, anyway. Moving on, the awesome game, and I say awesome with air quotes here, League of Legends. Woo-hoo-hoo. Those of you who don't know, that's my sarcastic woo. They're adding a 6v6 mode. I think it's called Hexakill. Or at least they're codenaming it Hexakill. And I don't know, there's not too much information, but my guess is that it's possibly going to be like a test, because it's going to start on February 20th, and it's only going to run until March 2nd. So my best guess is that they're maybe trying to test the waters and see maybe if it does get a lot of hype, maybe they'll release it as an official thing, kind of like with ARAM, all random, all middle. Because I'm totally on top of League of Legends.
More like League of Little Girls.
More like League of he has 69 wins. It's pointed out all the time for some reason.
Yeah.
He got to 69 wins and said, "All right, I'm retiring."
It's funny because I hadn't even
Cooling
noticed
while I'm
it.
on top.
I didn't notice until Martin pointed it out. I was like, "Oh, neat."
Yeah. It is pointed out quite often now, but we joke about it quite a bit. So
Yeah. Anyways,
why wouldn't you, right?
Speaking of games with lots of sexual innuendos, Borderlands 3. Probably going to have a ton of them. But it's not going to come out anytime soon. Apparently, there's just this huge expectation, and the studio as a whole is like, yeah, we have that expectation too, and we want it to happen, but we really don't know what it's going to be yet, just what it needs to accomplish. So they're not actively working on it right now, just kind of figuring out the stuff in their head. So expect that in a few years. probably.
Yeah, maybe they stop releasing content for Borderlands 2. They might have more time to them.
Yeah, they did mention they had some other Borderlands themed ideas going on, but not Borderlands 3.
The Borderlands board game. Maybe? I don't know. That'd be funny. Anyway.
I wouldn't be too surprised, actually. But pomegranates and rice. The next step in lithium-ion batteries.
Ooh.
How could this be, you say? Well, the battery composition is inspired by a pomegranate in the seeds and information. And rice would be the best source, not next best, the best source for silicon nanoparticles.
Yes.
At a cheap price, because no one uses rice husks for anything. Anyways, look forward to better batteries in phones and tablets and the likes in the next few years.
That'd be pretty cool. I like to think we'd like to progress with battery life and such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, moving on to the motorsport/sim racing speedrun. Woohoo! So we're going to start off with sim racing this week. Slightly Mad Studios announced free-to-play World of Speed. You can sign up for the beta on their website. We'll have that linked below. I already signed up. It looks fantastic because they're also working on Project Cars, which, by the way, has released their first trailer, official trailer. It was, I believe, John Z, who has done a few trailers on his site. I believe we watched a few of them. They actually adopted. He's made a few just fan made trailers, and they finally officially released one as his as the official Project Cars trailer. Assetto Corsa got the update 0.6.5, which pretty much fixed a lot of stuff. We have the changelog in the description, but most importantly, they released a McLaren MP4-12C GT3 monster. That thing is quite amazing on the track. It feels a lot like the Formula Renault car, the Formula Abarth car, but it's not an open wheel car. So yeah, it drives pretty crazy. It's a bit of a handful, but once you get tires warmed up, it's pretty decent. Anyway, EC Sim Hardware revealed that they are finally releasing their first full steering wheel system. It's supposed to be called the Pro SW. Uses a series of servo motors, motors. Make sure I don't say mortars again. So yeah, that's more stuff on that down below. Moving on to motorsport news, Sochi F1 track is 91% complete. The set scheduled race date is on October 12th. This Formula 1 track is going to be based around the Olympic park that is already being used in the Sochi Winter Olympics. So yeah, speaking of which, McLaren has already won in Sochi. How can this be? The race hasn't happened yet. Well, apparently they helped design and develop equipment for Team Great Britain's Bob Skeleton team. So they apparently got, I believe, gold, or they medaled at least. So hey, they're winners. It's similar to like how BMW helped with us being Team USA with I think it was bobsled. Almost 95% positive. Anyway, Martini is set to sponsor Williams F1 team, so you know their attire and fan gear is going to be quite magnificent, just because they're Martini. They have a knack for these things. Anyway, Jacques Villeneuve is set to race in the FIA World Rallycross Championship, which I believe saw its debut last year before maybe, in the X Games, where the guest star Sebastian Loeb completely ran away with it, which was a terrible choice for them because he's such a racer. But anyway, I digress. The stunt double for David Kroll, I want to say, Mauro Payne, of talking about the movie Rush. He was killed in a car accident in Italy. Apparently, the police were searching for him for 4 days. They found him, I believe, face in a flipped Renault Megane in a canal in Italy, along with an unidentified female acquaintance. So our condolences are with him and his family and whoever the random lady is. Moving on to not as depressing news, Simona Di Silvestro, commonly a former IndyCar driver. She officially obtained a test role position at Sauber. She is really priming herself for a 2015 seat, which I don't think there's ever been a female driver in F1. Correct me if I'm wrong. We will have this in the emu, because I want to say I don't recall ever having... I've seen a bunch of test drivers, but never someone who's on the starting grid. So I will definitely look into that right after recording this, and we will get that on the emu if it needs to be. So yeah, she's priming herself for a 2015 seat. She's going to work toward her super license, which will happen over the course of this year. She's already undergoing tests in simulator work and stuff like that. So fun stuff. The FIA World Endurance Championship finalized their 2014 grid. I believe it has 31 cars this year. So we'll have a link to that. I believe it's a PDF file that we have linked for you with at least all the first drivers. And the first Formula E team has finally released a driver lineup for the team. I believe it was Daniel Abt and Lucas de Grassi, I believe. We'll have to check that link right now. They are racing for Audi Autosport Abt Formula E Championship team, and it is Lucas de Grassi. Both of them, I believe. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, so fun stuff. I believe that wraps up the speed run. So, with that being said, why don't you tell us how to get in contact with us?
All right. You can hit us up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google+. You can hit us on the email, or in person or on the phone. Yeah.
Woohoo!
If you can find us.
Of course. So, with that being said, we don't know, honestly, how a podcast is going to take place this week, but we're working on it. We'll be meeting up tomorrow. We'll be doing a little something that we'll be posting, believe, next week. It will probably be in place of news next week, so there might not be any news next week, or podcast for that matter, because of Street Fighter Tournament, but we will definitely have content for you. We'll still release the gameplay, the Hangout and Plays, as scheduled, which we need to record some more because we're running low. We're officially on 2 left, which,
okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out a date and stuff. So, with that being said, as always, I am Broseph.
I'm Kevin.
See ya. Infamous Second Son as a pre-order in Italy. Interesting what they are including. They're including 2 cans of Red Bull and a glow-in-the-dark condom. Sorry, not a glow-in-the-dark. Multiple. It's plural. Glow-in-the-dark condoms.